Whenever you're ready.
My name again is Ken Rao. I am the managing partner of the Winchester Services Group. My background consists of getting involved in IT in my college days and going on to the Harvard Business School, where I specialized in the IT function. Having borne that cross since then, I've had many organizations approached me. The first one was really the government of the United States that selected me from all of their graduating officers to work on two programs that involved information technology in the federal government, in the Army area of the federal government. Subsequent to that, I returned to the civilian sector and found work as a CIO of a company that was small at the time. It was the people that make Arm & Hammer baking soda. I was their CIO for some 7 years at that company and took them from a batch-oriented, slow-moving company to one that was processing orders at a tremendously faster rate, saving money in terms of cash flow, in terms of reducing fraud, in terms of promotion materials and so forth. That company, Church and Dwight, grew from some $70 or $80 million into a multi-billion-dollar company over the time that I was working with them. So I struggled mightily to keep the IT organization in step, but we succeeded admirably in making IT one of the functions within that company that enabled the growth that they experienced and supported the many different functions that they were required. The challenges mostly had to do with the rapid introduction of new products from a company that had basically a single product into one today that if you walk through the grocery stores, you'll find the Arm & Hammer name on everything from laundry detergent to deodorants to I saw the other day. Anyway, they've completely diversified, but all within the area of the consumer product group. After that, I got involved in consulting. My first job there was working with a firm of Nolan Norton, which was a boutique superior consulting firm specializing in the management of IT. Again, a growth situation where I was the fifth employee at that company and saw it grow into a company with offices around the world, wherein we were developing the types of processes and methods that were going to be used by all of the large consulting firms ever since. And there are remnants of the types of things that we were doing at that time that have remain today at the heart of the IT consulting business. I mean things such as the topics of the application portfolio, data resource management, IT assessment. Those were things that were developed there by that group, applied to the marketplace, and used in hundreds of companies, primarily the Fortune 500 and large government agencies, to help them deal with understanding their IT organization, its problems, how to resolve those problems, and how, in fact, to move forward to develop the applications they needed to support them in their goals and objectives for the organization. I continued as a consultant for the remainder of my career, working with several boutique consulting firms, some of the larger Acme firms and also the large accounting firms. I've done a lot of independent work along the way as well. My last job at KPMG involved the same things I've been doing for years. KPMG, in fact, acquired the Nolan Norton company that I made mention of earlier, and in fact found that they were trying to manage something that was very foreign to them. So they found me, hired me. I was doing independent work at the time, and asked me if I would take the West Coast offices of the firm the Nolan Norton practice that was out there and reinvigorate it and integrate it into the business of KPMG, something I did, starting off with a staff of about 8 and growing to over 20 consultants that worked in this area for the KPMG organization. I left there and picked up a short-term assignment at Wang, a company that probably many of you may have heard of and wondered whatever happened to. Well, that lasted about a year before they went completely belly up. But in that year, I was responsible for taking over the organization's customer support function on the West Coast, from state of Washington south, including Hawaii. And I had some 60 consultants working for me at that time. They were in technical support, and Wang was interested in converting them into a profitable consulting organization, something that I accomplished, taking what was costing Wang some $500,000 a year in that region and making it $1 million profit center for the organization. Unfortunately, sales and reputation caught up with Wang, and they went out of business. I left then. I've been an independent consultant ever since. Other than my work, I would suggest for Cutter, which has been a big part of what I've done over the last 10 or 15 years.